Peak 100.1 is proud to present Season 2 of Local Artist Spotlight, live from Studio C, our weekly Wednesday night show that takes your favorite local artists and musicians, gets them into the studio and onto our airwaves. Tune in Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. to 100.1 or smash the subscribe button right here on YouTube for your weekly interviews and special performances. Live from Studio C, Local Artist Spotlight. Back for another episode of Local Artist Spotlight. It's your friend Becca here at Peak 100.1, and I'm joined by my new friend, Mr. Reverend Jon. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here.
Thanks for coming down. So we are talking about your new single that's about to come out, or it's out now.
It's coming out on Friday. Yep.
Out on Friday. Okay, awesome. But by the time this comes out,
it will already be out.
It'll be out, yes. And we are going to premiere it for you here. Yeah. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got involved with music, all of that jazz.
Sure. I am, so I'm from New York City. I actually was born and raised on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Nice.
And, I've sort of been into music since childhood. I grew up in in an artistic family with my mom had always done musical theater. My dad was actually a professional actor his whole life.
Nice.
My brother, I had siblings who were quite a bit older than me, so my older brother gave me my first guitar lessons. And then I went to elementary school at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, where there was a choir. And from 5th grade on, I was in the choir. So it started there, and then it went right into having bands in high school. And
who are you listening to during this time when you're coming up, your early ages in music?
Yeah, so I mean, the stuff, I mean, the bands that, at that time when I really wanted to start playing, there was definitely like the classic rock, The Who and Zeppelin, but then also really deep into like the Clash, and then a lot of the new wave sound, which was and still is a very big influence on me. So
you Talking Heads guy,
from Blondie to Talking Heads,
nice,
huge Bowie guy, especially the stuff he did during that kind of new wave period.
I'm a huge Bowie girl. He's all over the studio in here.
Yes,
that's great. That's great. So your first bands and stuff, you're playing guitar. Is that the only instrument that you rock?
Yeah, that's right. I started as a guitarist, and I went really deep into studying guitar, and but now I'm as I got deeper into music, I learned more and more of little pieces of things, and as I got more involved in producing, started playing more keyboards, more of other things. So that's kind of where I've defined the role that I'm doing now with this project, but it was always guitar.
Yeah.
It was always guitar.
And producing is a whole nother side of the coin when we talk about recording music and stuff. I think producers are some of the most talented people because you have to hear so many things, and you gotta hear things that aren't there that you want to put there. Has there been any challenges in your producing career of super hard things to put together?
Oh, 100%. I mean, and part of the challenge is that, you learn, you do solve those problems, but then you sort of have the danger of becoming a man with a hammer who's looking for nails to hit. And the thing about it is that every project is different, and that also applies to other people's projects and your own projects. And in fact, with this one of the things that I made a very deliberate decision based on my producing experience was that we weren't going to record a note until we'd really figured it out on stage.
Absolutely. That's a good way to approach it.
Because I wanted to go in and record it like a band, try to keep as much of the live performance as possible, because I'd gone down this road of when you have infinite possibilities, maybe we should add this, maybe we should add that, and then a month later you're like, no, we'll take it out. And this stuff, it was like, it's got to be, we're going to figure it out in front of an audience, and then we're going to go work fast.
Some of my favorite records of all time have that live audio aesthetic to it. It may not really be a live track, but you feel like you're in the room with that.
That's right.
Elton John, David Bowie has a few albums like that for me, Queen especially. So that's great. I love that approach of let's work it out how we would do this live.
Right.
And then bring that magic to the studio, because so many times people are doing the reverse, right? They're trying to take that magic of the studio that sometimes takes days on end, a couple of bottles of whiskey here and there, and you may not get that magic in that studio recreated on stage. So I really like that approach of
me too.
Reverse.
And I think the magic in those records, the thing you're talking about, is that yes, they're records and they're larger than life, but they are also human. I mean, Bowie is such a great example of that. Like his vocal performances are amazing, but you never would say like, oh, they're perfect.
No.
They're not these like, polished cubic zirconia,
But it's like the quality of like you put it on and that's Bowie, man.
Yep.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about how you came from New York to the Verde Valley. Was there journeys in between that?
Yeah, well, the journey for me was, it was a long, it was a journey that started, probably more around like 2009, where I was just deciding to get out of New York City with the idea ultimately that I kind of wanted to get out of the big coastal cities, but I was increasingly getting pulled to LA, so that was the next step. And at that time, I had a DJ producer project called Hobo Tech, where I was remixing a lot of roots American music, like remixing Lead Belly and silly things like that. And for whatever reason, on the West Coast, people really got it. People in New York liked it, but out there, they were like, we're here for the party. So I started playing in San Diego a lot and stuff around LA, and it just kind of pulled me out there. So I was out there for 5 years, but still always had this idea that I wanted to land somewhere else. I was doing mixing and producing and recording for clients, had a studio set up in my house, and I wanted to go somewhere where I could get away from all that and build something new. And so that idea, it was 10 years of having that idea and always keeping my eye open. And then I was working on a project called Tiny Machines, which was primarily me and my collaborator, April. And she and I were in a place where we were both self-employed and just felt like, let's look for an opportunity to jump out of LA and go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And we literally visited Flagstaff because it wasn't that far of a drive. It had an airport. It had some venues. We're like, this could work.
Right.
And it was just one of those crazy things where I had to move out of the place that I was in. And I was like, well, I can always move back if it doesn't work out.
Exactly. That's awesome. And how long ago was that you made the move?
So 2017.
Nice.
And then I spent 3 years in Flagstaff, but still wasn't finding my spot to open up. I was doing the same thing where I had a studio in my house, and I did meet some people and play some fun music, but it just still felt like the vision of it wasn't fully clicking. And then I met some musicians who were playing in this area, and one of them said to me, "Have you tried the high school in Jerome?" when talking about my studio, and I said, I don't know what any of those words mean.
Oh man!
I called them up, and the space that the recording studio is now in was becoming available in 2 weeks. And this is a space that had been built out as a recording studio 20 years prior.
That's
a lot of the
awesome.
guys who did that are still around, but it had just fallen out of being used. Yeah.
And what a treasure of a spot that place is. We just got to go up there a few weeks ago for our episode with our friends, the Brainworms.
Yes.
And they've got Lou's place in there that they get to rehearse in and stuff. Super cool. Yep. I've been fortunate enough to record an album up there way back in the day, back in the old music room where now the Skolatorium is.
Oh,
that used to be a recording studio.
Well, that's where Rudy moved the spot after being in the spot that I'm currently in.
It was with Rudy that I recorded with.
I'm sure it was.
Great guy, yeah. So the Jerome Historic High School, like for everyone who's watching this right now, go Google it. There's art shows in there, there's rehearsal spaces, there's art galleries, and it might be haunted. So check out for that. Have you ever experienced any weird things up in Jerome?
I mostly haven't, but I hear the stories.
Yeah, I hear the stories too. That's awesome. So you feel like you found your little spot?
I do.
Awesome.
I do. It takes a long time to build something, but but if you enjoy building it, then it's great.
Yeah, and here we have such a rich community of local music and shows and people that you meet throughout the years and stuff. You just worked with the Brainworms. Is there anyone else that you have on your radar right now that you're excited to work with?
There's a lot of there's some of them are projects that I'm not going to get in details because they're sort of long things that are. But basically, I'm honestly been excited about I've really enjoyed everyone I've worked with. There's a band called the Delics that's out of this area that we did a record I love about a year ago. Did a record with Viola and the Brakemen that I love how it came out. So those are a couple of things that come to mind.
That's awesome. And then when working on your own project, what we're about to hear and get into, are you your worst critic? Is it so hard to produce something yourself, or do you know exactly what you're trying to get and you can perform for yourself?
Well, I think, because I knew about that process of being your own worst critic, and the danger is combining being your own worst critic and being sort of empowered to act on that too much. And that's the thing that can happen in the studio. So which is part of the reason that after the last couple projects where a lot of time was spent in the studio, part of the reason that I built this live looping setup was because I wanted a very immediate way of creating music that would kind of keep me out of that environment where I'd be working with fewer options. I started out just doing completely improvisational music, and even went out and did like a short tour. I stopped places just doing really weird stuff with it before I'd figured out any of these songs.
Love it.
And then when I landed in Jerome, I had a venue space called the Operating Room at the high school for a few years, and I just decided, we were just chatting about comedy a minute ago. I decided I was just going to put myself on a lot of bills to do 20 or 30 minutes and of music that wasn't really done. And I just decided I'm going to figure this out in front of people.
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to get really tough, and and that's the thing, and you can be your own worst critic, but when you do it like that, you also have to, it forces you to become really patient with yourself.
That's a good point.
You just have no choice.
If that's the takeaway from this, being patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Probably a harder lesson to learn than patience.
Oh yeah, right. And walking off when you're like, that was not great.
Yeah.
Just deciding you have to go do it again. And so it's very much been that, just building on that and building on that and building on that, until, and it was really last year, in the second half of last year, when we got to a moment where Lou and I felt it on stage, and then we were having an interaction with the audience where suddenly it was just tangible that they were getting what we were communicating. Yep. And we felt, and it was just, you couldn't argue with it. Right. So it was time to make the record.
And speaking of the whole setup of this project, you have your whole, I kind of imagine that you just take a part of your desk from your recording studio out, and then you attach it to like a hot dog stadium stand, and you can walk around and kind of Music Man it anywhere. But it requires a lot going on in there. Tell us a little bit about the dynamics of that setup that you rock.
Well, the dynamics of the setup were that, it started innocently enough, just me working with a looper, but then it turns into, it'd be cool if I could do something with drums, like that's, something with a drum machine where I don't have to record it into the looper. Without getting into all the details, you just get one idea, and then you're thinking, rather than just do guitar, I'd like to also be able to do keyboards, and then it just grows and grows. And the funny thing about how crazy that setup works is that the reason I finally landed on it was part of a long iterative process of figuring out how to simplify it enough that I didn't have to think about any one piece of it while playing it. So,
cool.
The cables make it look like it was ripped out of Los Alamos or something, but it's actually, the whole idea is that the use of it doesn't involve a lot of like changing pages on things or doing anything that takes you out of the moment. So
kind of
now,
like an electronic musical ecosystem.
Well, yeah. At the end I realized, I've been building an instrument.
That's
so why
cool.
This took a long time. And now that we've recorded the first of all this music, I'm actually allowing myself to tear it apart and change a couple things, always with the idea that I'm trying to simplify it.
Super cool.
But but so for the next round of music, there's going to be some changes.
I love it. I love it. Tell us, before we get into the intro of the song, where can people find your music and where can they stay up to date with your events?
Yep. So we are Reverend Jon Music on all the platforms. That's the website, that's the Instagram, and the YouTube.
Right here in the description for y'all.
Very good. And so those are all good places to keep up with what we're doing. And is there anything else I'm supposed to say about that? I think that's the basics.
Well, tell us a little bit about the track that we're about to hear right now, and give us a good intro.
So the track is actually, we've recorded a lot of stuff that's been written over the last few years. This track is one of the most recent ones, and it's one of the ones that Lou and I kind of had an opportunity to finish together, because we started playing it together when it wasn't quite done, and really we started performing it when it wasn't quite done.
Getting that polished on the stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one felt like it should be the first one, because it feels like it's a very vital and up-to-date representation of what we're doing together, and just excited to get it out there. Yeah.
And what's the title of the track?
It's called My Setting Sun.
Awesome. My Setting Sun from Reverend Jon Music. Stay up to date with everything that he's got going on right here on our YouTube channel at those links below. And thanks so much for coming out.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So here it is, the premiere on Peak 100.1.
Thank you.